Hey, pals and gals, let's talk movie news. So, Jennifer Lawrence is out there doing the press tour for her new movie, Die My Love. And as she often does, she's just giving some incredibly candid, fascinating, and honestly pretty refreshing insights into what it's like to be an actor, especially when it comes to filming some of the more vulnerable scenes. This time, she sat down with a Las Culturistas podcast and dropped a couple of really interesting stories. One about her co star Robert Pattinson and another about body image in Hollywood. First, let's talk about the intimacy coordinator part of this, because that's a conversation that's been happening a lot in the industry over the past few years. For those who might not know, an intimacy coordinator is a professional brought onto a set to help choreograph and facilitate scenes of a sexual or intimate nature. Their job is to be an advocate for the actors, to make sure everyone is comfortable, to establish clear boundaries, and to generally make a potentially awkward or vulnerable situation feel safe and professional. It's a role that really came to the forefront after the Me Too movement, and it's become pretty standard on a lot of sets. Well, Jennifer Lawrence revealed that for the intimate scenes in Die My Love with her co-star Robert Pattinson, she didn't really feel the need to use one. And her reasoning is both straightforward and kind of a huge compliment to Pattinson. She said she felt really safe with Rob, and then she gave this great, very Jennifer Lawrence explanation. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he's not pervy and that he's very much in love with his partner, Suki Waterhouse. She described their dynamic on set as being really chill, where they were mostly just talking about their kids and their relationships. There was none of that weird, unspoken tension or anxiety that can sometimes happen, where an actor might be wondering, does my co-star think I'm into this in a way I'm not? She even went a step further and pointed out something that, frankly, a lot of people have probably wondered about. She said that a lot of male actors can get offended if they sense you don't want to, and then the punishment starts. It's a pretty stark comment on some of the unprofessional behavior that must go on, but she was very clear that Pattinson was not like that at all. He was just a professional, safe, and easy to work with. This is interesting because it adds another voice to a growing conversation among actors about intimacy coordinators. We've heard from other big names like Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Aniston, who have expressed similar sentiments, feeling that for them. As seasoned actors, they can figure it out with a trusted co-star and director. On the other side of the coin, many industry professionals argue that these coordinators are essential, especially for younger or less powerful actors who might not feel they have the agency to speak up for themselves on set. It's a complex issue, but Lawrence's point seems to be that the specific person you're working with matters most. When you have a co-star like Pattinson who creates a genuinely safe and professional environment, the formal structure might feel less necessary. But that wasn't the only revealing thing she talked about. The other story is just as powerful, but in a different way. She also appears nude in Die My Love, and she filmed those scenes while she was pregnant with her second child. She talked about how being pregnant actually took away a lot of the vanity anxiety she might have otherwise felt. She compared it to filming her previous movie, No Hard Feelings, where she was dieting, cutting out carbs, and working out intensely to prepare for her nude scenes. For this film, she was pregnant, working 15-hour days, and her attitude was basically, what was I going to do, not eat? She was just tired, and she had given the director, Lynn Ramsey, total artistic freedom. So she wasn't overthinking how her body looked. And then she shared this just perfect mic drop moment. She said that at one point, the post-production team sent her a close-up shot and asked her if she wanted them to touch up some cellulite. And her response was immediate. She said, no, that's an ass. I mean, come on. How fantastic is that? In an industry that is notoriously obsessed with perfection, with airbrushing and editing every single perceived flaw, to have a star of her magnitude just flat out refuse, and to state so plainly that what they were seeing was just a real human body, that's powerful. It sends a message. It's a rejection of the unrealistic standards that are so often enforced, and it's a celebration of authenticity, especially in a film like Die My Love, which is a raw psychodrama where that kind of realism is probably crucial to the story. It's a 1-2 punch of really compelling insights into the modern filmmaking world. On one hand, you have this nuanced take on on-set safety and the personal dynamics that make a difficult scene workable. It highlights the importance of having co-stars who are just decent, professional people. And on the other hand, you have this bold statement about body image and the push for realism over airbrush perfection. Both stories really showcase Lawrence's now trademark blunt honesty, and they give us a glimpse behind the curtain at the kinds of conversations and decisions that happen on a film set, from the choreography of sex scene to the final edits in post-production. It also makes you even more curious about Die, My Love itself. Directed by the acclaimed Lynn Ramsey, it sounds like an incredibly intense film, with Lawrence playing a woman descending into psychosis after childbirth and Pattinson as her increasingly useless husband. The fact that Lawrence felt so secure with both her director and her co-star probably allowed her to give the kind of performance that is already generating major Oscar buzz. All right, that's all for now. Let me know what you think of this news down in the comments below. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date with all my movie reviews and movie analysis. I always appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in my next video.